Okay, so we're going to just quickly introduce our team tonight. We're going to have Chief Dobson when he gets here.
He's right here.
Oh, he's here. He's going to do a quick overview of parking, transportation, road closures. We're going to have the LP23 team do an overview of areas that they're responsible for, and then we're going to have Orta do a quick update, and then after that we are going to take questions. So just quickly, I'd like to welcome, we have some village board members here. We have Mayor Devlin, we have Mark Galvin from the village board, Jackie Kelly from the village board. Hi.
Hi, Katie Brennan.
Katie from the village board. We also have Town Supervisor of Wilmington, Roy Holzer. I don't want to miss anybody. We have Jim McKenna, CEO of ROOST. We also have Mike, where is it? Oh, how'd you get here? I didn't even see you come in. We have Mike Pratt, CEO of Orta. Anybody else I may have missed? And we have Chuck Dobson, Chief of Police for the Village of Lake Placid. And then we are going to introduce the team as they come up, and we're going to start with Chuck. Do you want to start with your presentation?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Not much
Welcome.
of a presentation, but Q&A anyway.
Q&A.
Here you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
And I'm MJ
Good
Lawrence
afternoon.
from Roost. Got that one.
Thanks, MJ. Like she said, my name is Chuck Dobson. I'm from the Lake Placid Police Department. I'm the Chief of Police. Been working very closely with LP23 for the duration of our planning. And are you able to pull up the slide of actual
I can't. Is it
Main Street?
It is. Okay, everyone close their eyes for a moment.
Don't read ahead. So Main Street, I'm going to give you a general overview, broad overview. A lot of the specifics are still being worked out. And it's going to be a lot easier to show you on the map. So from January 12th at 9 a.m. until January
Stop.
22nd.
Sorry, Chuck.
No.
Just give me 1 sec.
Sure.
Should you give me like 2 more? Oh.
Just a moment, please.
Stand by.
There we go. That's what we're on.
Perfect, thank you very much. Okay, this is obviously a very busy map, but it's a good visual to give us an overview of what I'm going to be talking about. So from the morning of January 12th to the morning of January 23rd, we're going to have partial closures of Main Street. Most of these closures are going to be on the northern section. As you can see on this map where the High Peaks Resort is to the north, there will be a hard closure in place there, all the way down to where the Grand Adirondack Hotel is to the south. Now, within that hard closure, we have decided there will be access windows from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily that you will be able to access either your business or your residence with a pass. The whole pass system is still being worked out, but we will have some answers for you here very soon on how you go about getting those passes to access these areas. If you shift your attention to the southern end, between Mirror Lake Drive and Main Street, which is the town hall, north to Cummins Road, that will be accessible 24/7 with a pass, but there will be a closure point there, as you can see on this map. Parkside Drive will be accessible to the post office without a pass, but if you have to go north of the post office towards the Grand Adirondack Hotel, where you see that closure near where it says Golden Arrow on the map, you would need a vehicle access pass to do that. The upper MBT lot is going to be for businesses and residents of Main Street only. There's not going to be any public parking during that time. The village, and with help of the Lucy family, has also secured additional parking at the Lucy property, at the club, the golf course and club areas, and also the Harbor Lane area for additional parking. The Holder-Reed family is also offered part of the Golden Arrow parking for use of residents and businesses, because they're not going to be full of guests with vehicles during that time. Most of their guests are going to be bussed in. So we'll be able to use those areas for public and businesses as well. Michelle, am I missing anything that you can think of?
So just for a little clarification, so the passes will be for potentially the Golden Arrow, the MBT lot, but the other properties will be for public parking.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
pass to
Correct.
get the harbor, where the harbor, boat launches, all that parking area over by the club, those will be just public parking.
That's correct, yes, thank you for clarifying that. The pass will be for the upper MBT lot, the Golden Arrow lot, for the actual hard closure of those areas on Main Street. Thank you for clarifying that.
Chuck, and if I could you speak to who can get pass to get inside the hard closure?
Sure, so in our conversations leading up to this point, anyone who has a business or residence within the hard closure would be able to obtain one of these passes. If you're a business owner and have employees that you need to have one of these passes, I don't think we haven't set a number yet, how many each business can get, but you will be able to get passes for your business as well. Does that answer your question?
Do you know about how many spots that is?
Sure. So the upper MBT lot is around, depending on how we work it, because we have to leave some spaces for deliveries as well, is around 100, 120, depending on how we move snow and work it. I believe the Golden Arrow is going to give us around 100 spaces, last I checked. So that's an approximate number, obviously.
Chuck, did you mention that the road is going to be open until 10 a.m.?
He did say that.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, so the road, it won't be open, but it'll be accessible to people with passes from 2 a.m. until 10 a.m.
Are you still gonna do the shuttle from, where did you guys finalize your shuttle?
Yeah, so LP 23 is going to be running a shuttle, and I can ask them about that. But just as a caveat to that as well, Essex County Transportation has been involved in the conversation, and they've already agreed to run shuttles to those extra lots that we've obtained at the Lucy property and the harbor. LP 23, any?
So just, there will be from horse show grounds into the municipal lot, there will be a park and ride shuttle that'll be available and running 24 hours. So that would be there for, in addition to all of the other parking spaces and parking permits.
So just for clarification, so there's going to be parking permits for people that live and work on Main Street is going to be for the upper MBT lot and the Golden Arrow right now. That's about 220 spaces. How you get those passes, we'll let you know. Two is there's public parking at the harbor as well as over at the club and I call it the old tennis courts, right? And there'll be shuttles. So if you park there, you can grab a shuttle to get into town. And then thirdly, there'll be shuttles from the horse show grounds into the village.
So if somebody parks in the store park, where store workers can park, they cannot leave after 10 a.m.?
No, the upper MBT lot is 24/7. That's 24/7 access from Marcy Road
Okay. All right.
into the upper lot.
And
what
so
about
is Golden Arrow.
And so is Golden
And
Arrow.
so is Golden Arrow, yes.
That's a good question.
How do you get to the upper MBT lot from the south side?
You get to it from Hillcrest.
From Hillcrest, off of Hillcrest, down Marcy Road into the parking lot.
But from this side, you need to go Tom Pond Road.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, you'd only be able to access it from the north side of Hillcrest. There's no vehicle access down Olympic Drive.
So if I'm coming into town, I'm at the red light, I go Parkside, take a right, go around the lake,
Correct,
up the hill, to Hillcrest, down to the parking lot.
right.
And if I'm coming from, let's just say, the harbor, and I get to Brewster Park, I can take a right,
Yep, go right up the hill.
go right up
Yeah,
the hill.
that's correct.
Just like during construction.
Yeah, or you could come in from Old Military. Or, sorry, not Old Military, but
Yeah.
West Valley.
Part of this plan that's not depicted in this slide is There is a massive detour signage campaign that's going to be in place. It's very similar, as someone just said, to the Main Street construction that we had this summer, where the signage is going to be very clear and abundant of where these detours are and how to get around Main Street. It'll be very clear, the signage.
One last question. So I can get all the way to the end of Parkside by the, the post office, right?
Yes,
But then I can't go any farther.
that's correct.
So I got to turn around there?
You have to turn around at the post office. If you're going to the post office to conduct business, the postmasters actually agreed to rearrange their parking lot to allow for some public parking in the back. So you can park there and then leave again on Parkside, along with parking in the front, as long as there's enough room to turn around.
Anybody else have any questions?
Actually, I'm sorry, to get to the post office, you can't go past the Olympic Hill, you have to go the other way, correct?
Right, so the only way you can get to the post office in a car is to come in on Parkside Drive
And straight through.
and then turn around and go back.
Okay.
Right, so when you get to the,
So hopefully there'll be a good turnaround.
Yes, there'll be as you know, it's a large area right there, so there'll be a big turnaround.
Is Hillcrest going to be one way,
No, Hillcrest is not going to be one way.
but not
But-
Olympic Drive?
No, Olympic Drive, no traffic. We have 2 civilian parking enforcement officers who during this time obviously won't have to enforce Main Street or the main lot. And our plan right now is to have them in those neighborhood areas on Hillcrest because we'll be worried about the parking situation up there because of the lack of parking on Main Street.
so when I get to the Crown Plaza, I turn around there and go back.
Correct.
Do you know where the shuttle drop-offs will be towards Main Street?
So the main drop-off for the LP23 shuttle will be the main lot. Those shuttles coming from the horse show grounds will be dropped off at the main parking lot.
And what you said, the harbor and the Lake Placid Club, we're gonna have shuttles also, same thing?
Right, so that'll be the Essex County trolley. That won't be a function of LP23. That would be just the county trolley system adding those spots to their route.
But we don't know where they'll stop.
No,
We'll get back to
I
you.
believe that every stop they're going to make, that they make now, they'll make then with the exception of the spots within the closure.
But I don't think that they go around Mirror Lake, do they? Maybe.
They go all over.
Yeah, they go all over.
Yeah.
They're on Greenville Street too.
Yeah.
So, okay, so to be continued.
Yes.
But also, if you're on one of those shuttles and you're like, can I get off here? I think that they would stop.
They usually accommodate those
Yeah.
requests. Yes.
So there'll still be a mountain shuttle every day?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The
Will
mountain
there still
shuttle
be
for the
a
mountain.
shuttle?
They said they weren't going to change their operations except for that Main Street closures, but I can't comment directly on that.
So I think what we need to do is we just need to get some more details on that county shuttle, what that's gonna look like for the winter, during the games.
Sure.
Yeah, so we can follow up on that. So that's where we are. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I know you have another date somewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Are you gonna send out, like maps and stuff to the businesses?
Yes, we are. Okay, so, excuse me, next up is the LP23. We're going to start with Ashley Walden. Ashley is the Executive Director of the Adirondack Sports Council and LP23.
Thanks, MJ.
You're welcome.
And for the couple of questions on the parking permits and the information on the map, in the December billing, anybody that is in that area, they will receive notification on how to apply for a parking permit. There'll be an application in there, and there will be additional information on all of those routings. So that will be in
You
your...
might be better off holding that.
Yeah.
I can't really hear you.
That will all be in your December electrical bill mailing, so we're working with the village on that at the moment. So a couple of quick updates on our side, if I can...
Touch it.
Touch screen too, okay. Just some recent highlights. So obviously we are just coming up on 52 days from the opening ceremonies of the 2023 Winter World University Games. Some recent highlights, our tickets went on sale on September 1st. So anybody that is interested in purchasing tickets, they can go directly to the website, lakeplacid2023.com, check out the full schedule of events and purchase tickets directly there. Our medals are in production. All of the medals that will be handed out for the World University Games were designed by a local firm and are being made in cooperation with Alfred University. So all the projects that we do, we try and center them around sustainability and also students, since it's the University Games. So over 700 medals are currently in the process of being boxed and shipped and on our way here to Lake Placid. I had to go through a process with several deadlines to be able to enter into the participation for the World University Games. Their final registration, so this will be their final roster of all of the athletes that are competing and all of the coaches that will be here to support them. That is due on December 12th. In a moment, I'm going to go over a few of the details of who is currently registered, but all of that will be finalized on December 12th. So we do have a need for just over 1,700 volunteers. We have reached the 2,000 mark for volunteers, and we have a great benefits package for anybody that is signed up to volunteer. It includes a uniform with a jacket, a number of underlayers, a hat, and gloves. And that is available for anybody that is signed up to volunteer. I believe the minimum is 5 shifts, but we will be distributing those uniforms starting on December 7th over at the beach house. So if you are signed up to volunteer, you probably have received information on that.
Where are you distributing?
At the beach house, the Mirror Lake Beach House. So some quick updates. We've been continuing to work with ESPN. They are our distributor for all of the TV rights. I have a breakdown of that in a moment. A few other highlights that we're going to have in the presentation are on our FISU World Conference. There's an educational component that goes along with the sporting competitions, and so Carlin is going to speak to that in a moment. And then additionally on our torch, so much like in Olympic Games, there's a torch relay. Ours is a bit different, where it's used really as promotional events, so that will be kicking off very shortly. And there's a number of stops within Quebec and New York State that the torch will be making appearances, again, promoting the games and hopefully raising additional awareness for the activities that will be going on here in January. So earlier I talked a bit about participation. So what's called a Q entry form, and this is a list of all of the delegations that will be here competing have had to go through the process, the final being Q entry. We currently have 49 delegations of 49 countries that are registered. We have had late requests for a few. On December 12th, once we have final numbers, we will officially accept those if we have the room to accommodate them. Right now we have 1,660 athletes that are registered. You can see the breakdown: 955 male athletes, 705 female athletes, and then 778 officials. And these would be the support staff, so they could be coaches, they could be media liaisons, they could be physical therapists, so all of the support staff. So right now we have a total of just over 2,400 participants that will be, again, spread across the 3 regions. So we have been working very closely with our partner ESPN on our linear and digital distribution of these games. So we currently have 3 hours of live coverage on ESPN1. This is from 5 to 8 p.m. on January 22nd. So this will be the men's hockey gold medal game. And it's also in conjunction with the closing ceremony. So we'll be running the closing ceremonies. They'll be interspersed throughout the men's final games, and that will be 3 hours of live coverage on ESPN. This is a really exciting piece for us because as the last day of competition, it will allow us to produce a lot of content that will highlight all of the 11 days of competition that have taken place and show them on this prime time on ESPN. In addition, we do have 3 hours of live coverage on January 18th. This will highlight a lot of the events that are going on at Gore Mountain, which includes some of the free ski and snowboard events. And every single event will be streamed live on ESPN+. So if you have the ESPN+ platform, you'll be able to see every event live. This includes over 168 hours of coverage. Additionally, we have 27 hours of coverage that will be on Eurosport. For those of you that are not familiar with it, Eurosport is very similar to ESPN. Throughout Europe, it is their main sporting platform, and FISU has negotiated 27 hours of coverage The majority of that will be live. There will be some tape delays for the later events that are occurring in the middle of the night over in Europe. All right, so we have a short video on the torch relay. The torch is actually held in Torino, Italy. That is the birthplace of university sport. So on September 20th, which is also the International Day of University Sport, we had a small group that were in Torino to officially light the Fiesole flame. We had a short torch relay throughout the streets of Torino, and then we brought the torch back to New York City. We had an event in New York City, and now this torch will start to make its way around New York State and Quebec later on this month. Oops.
Welcome to the University of Torino for the official flag lighting ceremony of the Lake Placid 2023 Diesel World University Games, the 31st edition.
A torch embodies brightness, energy, and strength, reflecting the qualities that university athletes personify. Today we light the torch and begin the journey of the Fiesole flame from this historic city of Torino to Lake Placid. Can you hear me? There we go. Okay.
I just remember it works.
And we will have a cauldron that will be, I believe it is being installed the first week of December. No? Okay. Unveiled on December 12th. It will be in Brewster Park, and so when on January 12th, right at the opening ceremonies, the torch that you saw here will travel down to Brewster Park and officially light the cauldron. We will be unveiling it earlier, as Carlin said, on December 12th, but it will be lit on January 12th. So I'm going to hand it over to Michelle Preston, who is overseeing all of our Main Street operations.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first I'm going to just give you a little bit of a layout of what Main Street is going to look like, or at least part of Main Street. Up here we have Meadows Plaza, and you'll see this is in Meds Park. We have decided to bring all of the entertainment up to ground level, so you're not looking down on it. It's going to bring all of the action up to where everyone is. On the left is going to be the Meadows Plaza, where every night will be the actual medals ceremony. I say every night, excuse me, it's not on the first night, it will start on the 13th. And most of them will be anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour long, depending on how many actual ceremonies we have or medals granted that evening. And then after that, on the right-hand side, you will see a stage where we will have our nightly entertainment. We've got some fantastic entertainment lined up this year. So be looking for that. That's going to be taking place around 7 o'clock every night, correct? Roughly, 7, 7:30?
Medal ceremonies begin at 6 each evening, and then free music to follow.
Correct. Well, yes. So that's pretty much the layout of what's going on there. She said it was a touch screen. I tried to touch your screen. Your touch screen didn't work, so I'll go over here. Okay, this is down in the lower NBT lot, and it looks pretty empty right now, but it's not going to be empty, I promise. You'll see where we have a bathroom trailer that's going to be there, and I know that for a lot of us that's a plus to not have porta potties. So we do have 10 stall flush toilets that will be there on the premises, and that parking lot is also going to be housing the USOPC, which is going to have a lot of different activations throughout the week. And I have a few more items in the slide presentation that will speak a little bit more about the specific presentation or the activations that we're going to have. Okay, so here's some of the individual things that we have going on. First of all, the snowball cornhole tournaments and everything. Those, we actually have opportunities for the local businesses. If you want to participate as being a sponsor of these, we're looking for businesses who want to either donate towards the tournaments with prizes or have it put in front of your business to showcase the tournaments in front of your business. So if you have not reached out to me as of yet, please reach out to me because there is a business opportunity there for it to be in front of your establishment. There will be a different ice sculpture every evening. And these are going to be placed down throughout Main Street, and these are actually pretty fantastic. I've already seen the prints on them. They're pretty neat. And I've already mentioned about the medal ceremonies and the free music. We also have stilt walkers that are going to be performing and walking up and down Main Street throughout the week. We have some domes to keep everybody toasty warm, and we're in the process of working on rail jam competitions, well, not competitions, but expeditions rather. And as I had mentioned, the laser biathlons, that is part of what's going to be taking place with the USOPC. And the late night music we have taking place in smoke signals every evening after everyone shuts down in the Mids Park area. Here's a little sneak peek at what the items are or the entertainment that we have that is coming. As you can see, we've got some pretty big names there. So make sure that you start your marketing for your businesses to get people to come and participate and get out in the street and party with us. Here's a little bit more. This shows a little bit of the layout of the USOPC and the fan zone of some of the things that they're going to be doing. They're going to actually be doing luge over on the right-hand side. You'll see the track there where they're going to be doing some luge activations and some of the other interesting things that they've got going on. They don't have them specifically listed there. More to come on that.
What is USOPC?
US. Thank you.
Like the training center.
Right, it's the training center and the Paralympics.
And so we're just a little bit more about that space. We'll be, if you don't mind. So
Oh, okay. I didn't see you back there.
So we're teaming up with the USOPC to welcome athletes, show them our training programs, show what Lake Placid brings to the table for these athletes to come here and train and compete. So we're doing a bunch of the activations in that space collaboratively.
Thank you.
That's going to be a really fun, high-energy zone on Main Street.
It is, and it's going to be an area that we're hoping will show the future Olympians something exciting, you know, all the young athletes that are coming into town and seeing why they want to be part of the university games in the future. And we've already spoken about all of our travel. So, this is another thing that I actually have a lot of excitement about, is all of what we can do to help you guys. So thanks to the village board that gave us their approval. Thank you very much. We're excited to let you know that you're allowed to have sidewalk sales. We want you to take your business and bring it out onto the street. Open your doors, We know that it's winter time, so heating bills and everything. So feel free to bring out some of your merchandise and put it out where it draws people in, bring the excitement into your building, and you can set up some items outside and bring the excitement of outside and inside together so that everyone creates that nice, fun atmosphere. We also have a QR code program that we're doing. So we're encouraging every business to come up with some sort of a special, whether it be buy one, get one free, or welcoming the athletes by saying, every athlete gets a free cup of coffee, or whatever is unique to your business that you want to promote. Come up with something unique for you and let us know. And there's going to be one QR code that's going to be put on posters, put inside all of these warming huts, and people just have to scan it and it'll bring it to a page with all of the special discounts and offers. So let us know what you would like put on the page. It can even bring people to your menu or whatever is unique to your business. Let us know what it is. So then there's a few things that are not necessarily through LP23. It's actually through the Lake Placid Business Association, but we definitely are very happy to help promote. One of which is the Adopt a Delegation program. And this, I think, is a really cool idea where businesses can adopt a delegation, whether it be Italy or any of the other places, decorate your storefront, come up with something cool that those people feel welcome in our community. And so if you have not already signed up for one, go onto their website and get more information on the Lake Placid Business Association site and adopt a delegation. Make them feel welcome in Lake Placid. Another thing that the Business Association is doing is every business in town can get a free framed poster. So go into the Bookstore Plus and pick up your free framed poster. And then Chris Erickson, would you mind speaking a little bit about the Beer Glass, the collectible program?
The folks have designed a collectible glass. We did this before where it's kind of like a scavenger hunt or collect all the pint glasses for a set. So we have 5 different pint glasses. Each of the glasses is a different color, and it has 2 different sports on each pint glass. So those are available. The 3 breweries in town are participating in this, and Racket River over in Tupper is participating. But I did get some extra glasses, so if you want to access extra glasses, then you can contact me.
Cool, thank you. So something else, I have actually had several small bands from the area that have contacted me and said that they want to be a part of the action. And so if you have a business that you even want just somebody in, doing music in the evening, let me know, because there are local entertainers that are looking to be part of this. And so if you have a restaurant or just a store that you want some local entertainment in and you're willing to just throw a few dollars their way, then we would like to show all of the arts that we have here, and we would like to support our local artists. So if you're looking to have some live music or something, and it adds to the experience, and we can help promote that as well by bringing people in and say, hey, this place has live music today, from 1 until 3 or whatever. And
that's
so
that QR code.
it would also be on the QR code as well.
I think we can hand out Michelle's business cards at the end for anyone.
Yes, I do have cards that I can give you. And I know that some of the questions that people have asked is mainly the times. The village itself technically will be open from 1 until 9. We expect from 4 until 9 for it to be the busiest. So if that helps you with your staffing and just figuring out how to handle your business, then that's when we anticipate. Obviously, people are going to be around for the entire time, but that's when we anticipate that it's going to be the busiest. And that is all that I have. Now I hand it over to Tricia.
I'm here to discuss the MACPAC program for our school. So for the 4 days from the 17th of January through the 20th, the schools are out of session. And with that, it's always been Ashley's goal to have something for the community and to help the families who perhaps have to be working and don't have the daycare and other things. So we got together and created the MAC Pack program. MAC is our mascot, Adirondack Mac, the moose. And the photo that you see here is actually some of our students from grades 3 through 6 who got together on 100 days out from the games and did our TikTok dance and then created what you see here, which is our logo on the field in front of the school. So that was really a lot of fun to do with the kids. But because of the funding that we received graciously from the town of North Elba, the village of Lake Placid, the Uline Ironman Foundation Fund, and the North Elba Leaf Grant, we're now able to provide this programming for all students. Grades K through 8 are eligible. So if you know anyone that's interested in this that have not registered yet for this program, please go on to the school's website. What is that titled? The LPCSD, the school's webpage. Will have all the information that you need to register. At this point, I think we have about close to 200 students registered to participate in this. And a typical day is reflected in these two charts. We have grades K through 3. It's going to be a little bit different for the younger students because, of course, they can't be outside as much as the older kids can. They won't be able to endure as much, but we've set up some really great activities for them. We want it to be a time where the kids can get out and enjoy winter activities, but also get out and enjoy what's being offered in our own community. Going up and down Main Street, we're going to take them to the movies, we're going to take them sledding, snowshoeing. We've got teachers that have come on board that are going to be part of this, so the students are going to be well taken care of. We've got the school is going to provide the busing and the bus drivers through our program. They're also helping us with the food. We're going to be going out to, if any of you have seen what Brian Delaney's going to be doing out at Craigwood and offering a lot of outdoor activities for the community. We're going to be taking the students out there. And it's going to be a typical day. If the students need busing, if they need to be picked up in the morning as a regular bus route, they will be picked up. They will be dropped off in the afternoon. So it'll be like a regular day. Grades 4 through 8, they're a little older, so we wanted to make this more of an immersion program. So we're going to get them into participating in some of the events, going to some of the sporting events that are being held. Again, doing some outdoor activities, again, sliding, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, community activities too. We're going to the movie theater. They're going to be going to the new bowling lanes. We've already contacted Rob Kane about that. They're going to be doing some activities with the local library, and then again returning to school, and it's going to be your typical day. So because of the funding graciously given by these various groups, we're able to do this for the youth of our community, and I think it's huge for the families of the community. So please, if you haven't yet signed up or some people don't know about the program, it's been out there and advertised within the school, but please make sure people know about it. We'd love to have more people involved.
It's a simple fact. If we don't act now, we will lose winter. Climate change is taking a serious toll on many aspects of our lives, and it's dramatically impacting the $20 billion winter sports industry. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says that under a higher emission scenario, the path we're currently on, the total amount of seasonal snowfall is projected to decrease by 10 to 30% by the end of the 21st century. In parts of the United States alone, we have seen an average drop of 41% of snow since the early 1980s. Today, the snow season has shrunk by over 30 days. This is having a profound effect on the 470 ski areas in operation in the United States and the more than 290 in Canada. Every year, it's estimated that more than 45 million Americans enjoy winter sports and recreation. So imagine, if the trend continues, the ski season becomes even shorter, and the snowfalls even fewer. This is having a financial impact on these communities and a real impact on how athletes train and compete. Bobby Orr once called outdoor ice rinks the soul of hockey. Young Wayne Gretzky developed his passion for playing hockey on his own backyard ice rink. But all across North America and the world, outdoor ice is shrinking. Since 1950, winter temperatures have increased by 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit. As the temperature increases, the number of days suitable for outdoor skating will fall. Only 17% of the world's population pays attention to science, but 80% pays attention to sport. So this is an opportunity to demonstrate how climate change and winter sports interact. As world-class competition unfolds over these 11 days, we will do all we can so that athletes on the world stage and those supporting and watching from afar can help save winter. With the support of leading colleges, universities, and the Wild Center in New York State, we will present cutting-edge research and content about all the ways that food, energy, weather, and water affect our athletes in training, competition, and life. Every aspect of operations through the Games will be guided by an environmental ethic, from the award medals to a carbon-free cauldron, tri-sort waste systems, transportation planning, food and beverage, athlete housing, and all aspects of hosting. Leaders, athletes, and students know that sustainable practices matter, and what we do today and tomorrow will be critical to the long-term sustainability of ice and snow around the world. If we don't do something, we won't have something to do.
Good evening. I'm Carlin Jessen. I know many of you because I used to be Carlin Devlin. And I lived here years ago and also worked for ORDA. And I'm so excited to be back working with the World University Games and looking out for the legacy and sustainability aspects of the Games. And I know that the sporting events are super important, but I think that there are some Save Winter themed events that are going to be even more exciting than some of the sports. So Save Winter is really the theme, it's the overarching theme for all of our sustainability initiatives. And you're going to see those, they'll be very visible. One really exciting thing is that bus that we talked about earlier that's going to be a shuttle between the horse show grounds and the municipal lot in town. Is going to be an electric bus. So that'll be really visible and fun to try to see how quiet it is and how efficient it is in the winter, and we're excited to welcome that thanks to Nova Bus. They'll be bringing it to town. Also throughout the village, at the venues and on Main Street in the festival area, we'll be having dual sort and tri-sort waste systems. So in the athlete villages, we'll be composting both in front of house and back of house. So the athletes will be asked to compost leftovers. We're doing a food recovery program so that any leftover food is quickly moved to where it's needed. Throughout town, we'll be having volunteers, and we need more volunteers to help with our Save Winter team to help educate the general public about our waste systems and about dual sort waste and what can go where. We are asking volunteers and the general public to bring their own drinking vessels during the game. So instead of single-use plastics, we encourage everyone to bring their own refillable bottles, and we'll be offering bulk water. And where we do have to offer bottled water for the athletes and in areas where it's tough to get bulk water delivered to, we'll be offering water in aluminum cans and boxes. So just avoiding single-use plastics. We've taken a stance as an organizing committee to ban the use of PFAS waxes. So for the Nordic team, there will be random testing for the PFAS waxes, which is shown to be a toxic wax for the environment, especially through melting snow and into the water stream. So we have a lot of initiatives that are super excited. We hope you become engaged with all of them. And the best way to do that is to join us at the FISU World Conference, which is taking place live and in person, as well as virtually, over 3 days at the Lake Placid Center for the Arts. So it's free. There's from Friday the 13th through Sunday 15th. We'll be hosting panel discussions all day long, Sunday, we'll cap the weekend with a really awesome film festival. We have films from Patagonia, REI, and Protect Our Winters. And we also have a film that the filmmaker, the documentarian, is coming out to represent her film that's going to be released at the Telluride Film Festival, but she's going to show clips for us, and it's the long-awaited sequel to The Inconvenient Truth. So clips of it will be shown here first. So we're super excited about that. We have keynote speakers from Bill McKibben to Aaron Mayer, former president of the Sierra Club, will be here. Next slide. I don't think I have more slides. No, you do. Oh, how exciting. I got so excited I forgot about the slideshow. We have Protect Our Winters athletes are coming, some alpinists, Graham Zimmerman and Kitty Calhoun. We also have Chris Dickerson, a former MLB player who started Players for the Planet, will be here. Kristen Kimball, some of you may recognize that name from her book, The Dirty Life, will be coming to speak. And a lot more. We have 38 speakers coming to this conference. In addition to sort of those headline names, there are a lot of academics will be coming. So Kurt Stager from Paul Smith's will be joined by a couple of professors from Texas A&M. We have professors from Canada coming down from their universities. So a really dynamic 3 days. And Saturday night of that event, there is an event at the Wild Center. So touring their climate solutions exhibit, enjoying wild lights, and also a speaker will be featured there. So much going on. I encourage everyone to spread the word, and you do have to register. There's limited seating, obviously. LPCA can't add more seats for us, but you can register by going on to the Lake Placid 2023 website, dragging your cursor over to the Save Winter drop-down, and there's a registration button right in there. We really hope to encourage students to come, so all those high school kids that you know should attend, as well as any college students. So more about that, and I'll be around to answer questions about that afterwards. I took lots of notes of things to remember to tell you, and I'm sure I've forgotten something, but that gives you a pretty good idea of what is coming with the Save Winter campaign.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Hi, everyone. Darcy Norfolk, Director of Communications at ORDA. I know we've been here for a little bit, so just bear with me, but we do have some good information to share with you what happened. All right. Well, my first slide here, which hopefully it stays for a second, is just a recap on the training center, and I'm going to give you some updates on the dormitories. So I don't think it's going to happen. So where the Team USA is going to be located, which is the dorm, just wanted to let you know that the interior is complete and we're wrapping up the exterior. So that will all be set, and that's where Team USA will be located. This is really too bad. There's some good pictures here. But anyways, all right, we'll just go. So my next slide was going to be a picture of the new administrative building, which is located for your records for 37 Church Street. Which is in between the U.S. Training Center and USA Luge. There's 62 of us there now from a corporate perspective. We've all moved out of this location here at the conference center, as well as downstairs of the Olympic Center. So all of these spaces, including this one, which is where the temporary museum was located, has been given back to the venue to be used for functions going forward. And this space in particular is where food and beverage service will be for the games. My next slide is of the Olympic Center. So just quick, I actually have quite a few updates here and announcements, but as you can tell, we're refrigerating the track outside, and we have an anticipated opening for this Friday. Mother Nature is coming in with some variable weather, unfortunately, for a few days, but we'll stay in touch on that and give you any updates. We have an announcement that we are going to be offering $50 regular session oval seasons passes this year, and so those will be going on sale. That's right off soon. We'll make that available soon. And then as soon as we get the oval open, we will be opening the hockey box, and there's been some questions on that, and so that will be opening early December. We are targeting the end of December for the installation of the warming cabin,
which will be located over between the lean-to and the hockey box. And then Miracle Plaza. So that's 2 levels. If you haven't gone over to Miracle Plaza yet, it is fully open, top to bottom. The lower doors are open and accessible, so it's open to the public and you can go in.
I just think it's better to not have it than have it.
Oh, flashing, okay, good. So upstairs is our food and beverage service in Romer's Cafe. There's been some feedback to this name, so I thought I would just take the opportunity to talk about that a little bit with our captive audience here. But the name Romer's stems from the independent New York Rangers ice hockey farm team that called Lake Placid home from 1946 to 1952. So there's a lot of history there, and as well as the Miracle on Ice moment has really defined us. There was quite a bit of hockey tradition and a lot to our roots that runs far deeper. And so this is one of those key moments in our timeline, and therefore the name Lake Placid Roamers is something that has been wanting to be carried on to kind of continue on that hockey pride. We have added the term cafe to better differentiate it, and so that is where it's at going forward. The retail space opened a week early, and it is open downstairs as well. So my next slide is actually very cool. Which is the Lake Placid Olympic Museum. So we will be having a grand opening there December 8th. That will be a community day. It'll be open to the public, free entry. So come test, see, learn, experience. Open to local staff, athletes, our community. It's the day before the Holiday Village stroll, which we expect will have pretty good turnout. The hours of operation will be 10 a.m. to 5. And provided that the last exhibit gets from Buffalo to here, we should be all set and complete by that time. But we did have a little bit of challenge with that. And so we're excited to roll that out. There will be a soft opening in advance, but it will not be complete until the grand opening on December 8th. So in terms of all of our venues, I'm just going to go through quick, and there'll be plenty of updates on this. But we are open, obviously. Many have known or have experienced it already. But Gore and Bel Air opened last Friday, and White-Faced opened on Saturday. These are now closed Monday through Thursday, reopening on Friday. Mount Van Hoevenberg opened early, even after our scheduled date. And so we're moving, and I highly recommend you get out there. And then as we get into the games, and I can share all this. There'll be modifications at our venues, but for the most part, we are open, with the exception of the Oval that will not have any public ice. And so as we gear up and we get ready for the games, there will be an event window, which is kind of like January 2nd to 24th, and then the games are 12 through 22. You can expect at our venues that there will be modifications due to a large-scale event. So parking, security, trails, lifts, lodges. Our snow report is the best place to go for any conditions or operational updates, and as well, we'll have a page dedicated to the games in particular for these modifications. But what is open during the games in particular is Whiteface and Gore, fully open for recreational skiing, alongside being able to see a world-class sport right there on the race hill. At Mount Van Hoevenberg, there will be cross-country skiing available on the legacy trails, and there will be, for seasons pass holders, the ability to park at the old stadium, and there will be a shuttle. There will be more details on that coming. The sky ride and gondola will also be open, but it'll be intermittent based on the schedule of the competitions. And then the Olympic Center, of course, the museum, and the retail and the cafe will be open, but we'll be providing more details. We're talking about doing a weekly calendar for those of you who receive, a daily calendar for those of you who receive our weekly calendar of all the venues and the operation, the hours of operation. We look to do that probably on a daily basis going forward. And then my last beautiful picture was actually of Mount Van Hoevenberg, and just to show you how the signage and everything from the LP23 teams going up there. So I'm glad you enjoyed my beautiful presentation. And I can provide any notes and take any, my last slide actually is truly the fact that we actually have quite a few things going on. I just wanted to take a chance to let you know that there are 3 additional bobsled competitions going on out at the track, so get out there, including the World Cup, which is coming up, the 16 to 18.
And then we did, for those who haven't seen, we did secure the World Cup in ski jumping, so that will be in February. And then one last thing, and there's a lot of other stuff in between, March 30th through April 1st for all the local businesses, just please take note that that is a very busy weekend. It is the first weekend of spring break. So I would hope that everyone's open for business because we're expecting probably 6,000 to 8,000 for the synchronized skating championship. So there'll be quite a few people here, and it's actually a great event. So I highly recommend going to it, but also having businesses staffed and open because it will be busy.
So it's the first week of the school spring break.
Correct, March 30 through April 1. Mhm.
It's the first weekend.
The first weekend of spring break.
And just so everybody knows, we're going to send out, we're recording this meeting and we'll insert both slides.
Yes.
So you will get that. If you get the Roost emails, if you don't, you can go on to roostadk.com, and at the bottom you can just put in your email to sign up for our emails, and then you get the regular communication. So they are going to see your slides.
They are.
Sorry.
Yes.
All right. Is there any questions before we?
So I know Main Street's going to be closed to traffic. How will businesses on Saranac Avenue and stuff, how will people get to us? I mean, we'll be open for business, right?
Yeah, and so Saranac Avenue will be open for two-way, is my understanding. So when you get to the bottom, you can take a right to go up Saranac Avenue, and then when you get to the bottom, I believe you take a left.
So people are able to get to us in
That's
some
my
other
understanding.
fashion. They won't be able to come down Main Street, but they can go around.
Right.
I didn't hear anything about lost and found on Main Street.
That's a
Somebody
good
lost
one.
her.
That's a good, yeah, that's a very good question.
And the other thing is, will there be EMTs in case there's medical need?
That would be a question for Ashley. The lost and found could be our visitor center.
Okay. Mary Jane has offered for Roost to be lost and found, so perfect. And there will be medical coverage. So when we have the Meadows Plaza going on, there will be an ambulance on site. There's a medical team working on that. There are also the Olympic Center continually has activity because they have multiple sports that'll be taking place. So there's also additional coverage that will be there throughout the time. And all of the county emergencies and the local towns are working together. So if somebody calls 911 for a spectator, a pedestrian, or an athlete, they're working jointly so that all messages will be received and ambulances will be deployed to the closest one possible.
I have a question as a parent.
Yes.
For Trish, I didn't see the location of the drop-off for your program.
It's going to be at the school. The elementary school will be
elementary.
open for this entire event for the 4 days.
Okay.
K through 8.
K through 8, everyone will be at the elementary school for the duration of that program.
Okay.
Because the high school will be closed, and we can pick up with buses, or students can be dropped off as regular if their parents drop them off or choose to do so during that time.
8:30 was the drop-off?
8:30, yeah, same as you normally would, the same school day.
But if the kids normally take the bus will still pick them up on their normal schedule, so that won't be impacted.
Does the bus drop them off? normal
Yes,
schedule?
the
Oh,
bus
great.
can drop them off in the afternoon. So
Okay.
you just have to indicate that. I think if you haven't registered yet, go on and look on that, and they'll indicate whether or not you need busing.
Okay.
And there'll be more information probably coming out soon from the school. Keith Clark is heading up the school's portion of that, and we're working together to do that.
I think you're also living together.
Yeah, well, don't tell anybody.
What is that about lost and found?
So the visitor center at the first floor here, we can just make that the lost and found, and we'll get that word out.
Okay.
Has Adirondack Health given you indication of when the ER in town is going to close, and will it be open definitely through the game?
Mayor, Devin?
At this point, the application for their change of closure is with the health department. Until that happens, we won't know.
Any other questions? Yes.
How are ticket sales going for the events?
And we have currently just over 4,000 tickets, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not a lot in our overall goal. But we are tracking, and we did some research based on similar events, particularly the Ski World Cup over in Killington. And based on their target and projection, we're following that same scale. So we continue to track it and monitor it. We do have across 3 regions tickets, so it's a little bit different. Obviously, the biggest seller right now has been the closing ceremonies, the most interest because it is closing ceremonies and the men's gold medal game. We will be announcing very soon all of the events on Main Street and the bands, and that's generally where we'll see an uptick, but the majority of the ticket sales are anticipated to be about 3 to 4 weeks out from the event.
And what's your goal?
Sold out.
Right now, no. Tracy Smith, please, help me.
Around 67,000 tickets. 67,000 is the goal.
Are they waiving open container on Main Street in the festival zones?
No, no. No, but we would like to thank the village for all the hard work they put into, helping us map out this plan and create a really exciting, unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience for the town.
You should go into politics.
And we're hoping, we're hoping that you want to have some kind of cool beer garden down there, so let me know.
Any other questions?
Also, thank you to Orda, Roost, all of the other partners, local chambers, we really appreciate it.
So if that's it, we're going to conclude this meeting. We are planning on having one more meeting before the games, mid-December is the goal, so we'll keep you posted on that. Thank you everybody for coming, and have a great evening. And thank you, Catherine Erickson, for working on